So Don's never done launch control. We'll see if it works. All right, you guys, we got a Ferrari 488. This is Don. Don, we actually met up a couple years ago at least now.
Yeah,
and we did a video with his carbon track pack Mustang and his Cobra replica. And I'll throw some flashback clips in for the video for you guys. But he actually sold the Mustang, then got a Porsche, sold the Porsche and got this. Wanted to upgrade to something a lot more pizzazzy, I guess, if you will. So, Don, talk about your car. How do you like it? How long have you had it and everything like that?
Well, it is pizzazzy. So I had a Spider RS and loved it. And I was talking to my dad one day because I was thinking about upgrading to a GT3 because I'm kind of a Porsche guy. I also like Ford stuff. And he said, man, I wish you'd just get a Ferrari someday, put it in my garage. And so I started thinking, I'm like, that's not a bad idea. So yeah, I called a friend of mine, his name's Steve, and he agreed to sell me his car. So I wired him the money, had my daughter go pick it up from him, and it was a smooth deal, and she had to drive it literally maybe 3 miles from his house to my dad's garage.
Before I get in, look at the interior. He's got the nice peanut butter, I think is what they call it, the peanut butter color interior.
Yeah, it's got the Daytona seats. It's got, I don't know, stitched leather, a bunch of carbon inlay.
Wow.
You can get with it. The tunnel is made out of carbon.
That is super cool.
And I never lose the key because it just sits right there.
Oh, there you go.
Now you know how to steal a Ferrari. If you see the key there, then you can just steal it.
Especially Don's Ferrari. So one thing that Don was saying is, you guys saw the Ferrari Portofino video I did when I was in Bend. This is almost the same platform as the Portofino, twin turbo V8. And what else is different than the Portofino on this? Do you know?
Yeah, the platform's different because that's front engine and this is mid.
Oh, that's right.
So the drivetrain, or the engine itself is the same or very close. This has a little bit more horsepower, but probably just because the exhaust is shorter. But the rest of it's completely different given that it's mid-engine. So I think some of the similarities would be, you know, the controls, which I've still had to get used to because everything's on the steering wheel. Blinkers are here, pedals are here. They're mounted to the column and not the wheel. And then you've got I think they call it a Manatino to switch from, you know, whatever mode you want. I just keep it in race mode. Wipers are right here. If I want to flash someone to get out of my way, the headlight button is over here on the left. Shocks, so I can make it ride softer with this button over here. And then the start-stop button is on the left side as well. So you have to relearn how to drive every time I drive it because all my other cars are totally different. There have been, at first, a few times I'd hit the blinker instead of the paddle, or I'd hit the paddle instead of the blinker and look probably like an idiot in traffic, but I've at least got that down.
Yeah, we're probably gonna get some looks on the road and I'll probably be able to show you guys how much attention this car gets, but hopefully we'll get, I don't know what that was. But yeah, we'll probably get some looks from people on the road. So hopefully I can capture that moment for you guys. All right, so Don told me something off camera and I wanted him to talk about it a little bit. This car has a built-in laser jammer in it. So Don, talk about that real quick.
Yeah, it's made by Raydance. I'd never heard of them. Bought the car, it was all installed, but it's built in the center console down here. And front and rear it has laser jammers built in, which apparently is legal. And radar detector as well. So, and it even tells me when I'm approaching a red light camera.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been very helpful.
All those downshifts sound so good.
The turbos, they do quiet it down a little bit compared to the 458. But they make up for it in power. It's like a train kind of, you know, like just constant pull.
Yeah.
Versus instant torque, so it's interesting. Well, somebody isn't.
Wow, last minute. You know we're on a Ferrari, right? Cut us off, man. There you guys can hear the radar because we just passed a cop, so you can hear it working. Oh, that is very cool. So Don was just mentioning something, and I was asking him if he missed his Mustang, and he said, yeah. And he said that this Ferrari is actually 1 second faster than his Mustang in a quarter mile. What did you say your Mustang would do in a quarter mile?
Mid 11s if you could get traction. And of course it is somewhat traction limited. It's a GT500, so the rear, you know, front engine, rear drive. This is a second faster based on what Ferrari is, you know, is spec'd out at. So this is in the low 10s, like 10.3 or 10.4.
Okay.
And then the Mustang's about a second slower.
Have you taken this car to the track yet?
No.
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 Look at this view, you guys. That is so pretty. Wow. Oh, those just sound so good. That twin turbo V8, you can never go wrong, which is one of the reasons why, if I ever were able to get an Audi R8, I would not mind getting the V8 because I could always twin turbo it and it would just sound so good. For that reason, I mean, I know every V8 is going to sound different, but they all relatively have the same exhaust note and tone, but they just, you can't ever go wrong with a V8. They all sound so good. This car handles so well. So does it feel like it handles pretty well when you're driving it at high speeds like that?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, I've got my Mustang GT500 and then the Porsche Spider RS to compare to, and I would put this as probably the best feeling car in the corners.
Wow.
I would say the easiest to drive fast. The Mustang was probably a close second. The Porsche was actually a little bit skittish. You know, once the back end came around, you had to really, you know, react quickly to catch it.
Right.
This is so predictable, and even when the back end does break loose a little bit, it feels like you could just drive it that way and keep it there, almost like a drift car.
Wow.
I haven't really done that. I've, you know, wound it back in, but it's a very predictable car. I'm very impressed with the handling of this. This versus the Porsche is dramatic. So the Porsche felt like you had to turn the wheel a lot more. The ratio was just completely different. So it's very sharp with the cornering. You just turn it a little bit. At first, when I first bought it, I would oversteer, meaning I would dive into the corner way too hard. And I just kind of had to relearn how the car reacts to steering. But the front end really bites on this. Virtually no understeer and very controllable oversteer.
So we're driving through a little outlet mall to see if we can get some reactions from people. Don driving his Ferrari through this little town. We got a little kid that said Ferrari.
He's doing a video.
Nice. I don't know if you guys caught that, but that kid was like, "Oh, Ferrari!" So Don's never done launch control, so this is the first time he's trying it out. We'll see if it works. Woo! What's that?
Let's go push luck.
Yeah. Well, how'd that feel for you for the first time using it?
It's really fast. These will probably be the only 2 times I use it, but it was definitely fast. Hit the button. Okay, here we go.
That's like a roller coaster. Holy cow.
Than my Mustang would launch.
Oh, you think it's faster than your Mustang?
Yeah.
Did your Mustang have launch control?
It did.
Okay.
It was just constantly trying to spin.
That's right. I remember now. That car had so much horsepower that we kept breaking traction and we couldn't get the launch control to work very well. So.
Yeah, traction's part of the equation.
Yeah, traction and the type of tires you run as well.
Yeah, this actually, well, the Mustang had Cup 2s, which are better than these tires for the track.
Okay.
These probably grip a little better in a straight line, which these are the PS4s.
Okay.
Yeah, very similar, but yeah, these are probably slightly better straight.
So Don was just saying that this is auto mode and now it's just super quiet. It's crazy how much quieter that the exhaust gets when you just put it in like a normal auto mode. Well, Don, do you have any plans to get another fun car, or is this going to be the Ferrari going to be the last one that you're going to have?
Yeah, I think I was telling someone the other day, I think I can, never not have a Ferrari, because it's probably the coolest car I've ever had, and I don't know where to go from here.
Yeah.
If I was a billionaire, maybe there would be a few other options, but I'm not, so.
Maybe you just got to ask Jeff Bezos for a small loan.
Yeah. I doubt he'll accommodate, but it goes back. I'll tell you, I'm here with my dad, and when I was about 7, he took me to Newport Beach. We lived in Southern Cal, and there was a Ferrari Daytona parked on the curb. So
oh, wow.
I stared at that for probably 20 minutes because my dad was always, showing me cars, but back then Ferraris were hard to come by.
Yeah.
So it was my first Ferrari, and it's also the Ferrari I never forgot. And it had these, Daytonas have a special seat called a Daytona seat.
Okay.
So this Ferrari has the Daytona style seats. So it kind of took me full circle, and now I'm enjoying it with my dad. And it starts from, when I was just a little kid. So.
Right.
So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with my dad and cars, and he's the one that's to blame for all of it.
Have you ridden in the Ferrari yet?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, what do you think of it?
Oh, I think it's a dream come true.
Oh yeah.
He's driven the car.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I bet it feels a lot different than driving this thing.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, this is more fun.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Well done. Thank you again for letting me meet up with you. And what's funny is I actually wasn't planning on ever meeting up with Don because I had no idea he even had a Ferrari. I reached out to you for something. I messaged you about something and you said, oh hey, I got a Ferrari, and I was like, wait, we got to meet up and do a video with this. So it was a really unplanned.